I am convinced the clothing on Pinterest does not actually exist in real life because why will it show me the most curated clothing pieces to me, but there is nowhere to buy them? It's like torture. I don't know where Pinterest gets off on that, but they definitely do. So this is for any of the girls that love that whimsy goth, edgy chic, Elena Gilbert looking Vampire Diaries style, but can't find the clothing for it, or it's too expensive, or it's only from knockoff websites usually that I don't want to order from. So we're going to take some thrift store finds, and they had potential, but they definitely weren't all the way there. And I'm also going to make sure it's done in a really simple way that literally like a monkey could do this, because I don't have a sewing machine. I don't I don't do that stuff. I'm just whipping it together and hoping for the best. But we'll always make sure it looks good in the end. I'm gonna show you a couple of the pieces we're working with. This one I am so excited about. I got it at a thrift store like over a year ago and I've never worn it because the color doesn't look good on me, but it's got these beautiful brass buttons and I don't know, I think it will just look so steampunk with the sleeves and everything if it's done in black. So we're just gonna dye it black and see if it works. I hope it doesn't mess up the buttons or anything. And then like this, my mom was with me when I got this at the thrift store the other day and she was like, oh my god, you know, like she thinks everything I think is so ugly, I think. But this one, okay, the color, horrific, but I feel like we could make this look very Elena Gilbert. We're gonna do a little maybe pendant on it, and I love the color purple, so I'm gonna try dyeing it black from this and see if I can get like a purple color, dark purple. And I'll show you the other pieces later on because I haven't fully decided which ones I want to change yet. To start off dyeing your clothes, you're going to want to make sure they're really clean because if there's any residue, the dye might not stick to it very well. So I just cleaned this with some vinegar and Dawn dish soap and wrung it out. And you're going to want to make sure the water is super, super hot, like as hot as the clothes can handle. This is the dye I was using. And if you're dyeing a natural fiber, you're going to add a cup of salt to the water. And if you're dyeing synthetic, you're going to add a cup of vinegar. So I added my salt since what I was dyeing was cotton. And as you can see, the bowl was too small. That's not going to work because your fabric needs to move freely, so I ended up having to do it in the sink. And then I guess my water was a bit less hot because I had to dilute it quite a bit. But I filled it up with hot water and then I started pouring my RIT dye in there, just the black one, because I wanted to just dye that tank top darker than it already was, and also add a couple teaspoons of dish soap. Apparently that helps it dye more evenly, and you're gonna want to stir that around for 30 minutes to an hour. I did a full hour. As you can see, the tank top was still just a really deep purple. You can drain it, it's fine for the sewer, apparently. And yeah, then you're supposed to put it in a color fixative, which I didn't have. So I heard you could make your own color fixative by making a bowl of hot water, adding in a cup of vinegar and a quarter cup of salt. So that's what I did. I just tossed them in there for 20 minutes after and stirred them around a couple times, and then I just threw it in the wash and let it dry until the next morning. It is the next day, but have we ever seen a more perfect little camisole than this? The lace dyed so beautifully. I honestly didn't think it was going to dye at all. This, on the other hand, I don't know what in the Willy Wonka happened here, but it turned out grape purple. Not even a nice purple, just some dusty, musty color. We're gonna have to re-dye it again. Okay, when I put this on, it's giving, I have no friends, but it's not by choice. It's not like I'm cool and edgy, I'm really socially not there. So maybe that's a bit dramatic, but so am I. I'm gonna go into town and look at a thrift store for some type of charm I can sew onto this and more dye. My excursion did not go as planned. I looked everywhere for a charm. It was pouring rain and I could not find anything. And then I just kept getting distracted by cute clothing in the thrift store. And I was like, no, we're not getting anything. We must stay focused. We just came for the charm. That's it. I went to Walmart to get that dye. Of course I didn't have it. That's great. Perfect. We're still gonna make the most of the trip, get some snacks. Sometimes their junk food is cheaper here. Tell me why, when I go through the cashier, she don't even say hi to me. That's fine. Love that, actually. I like to be quiet. But she makes sure to say, I don't know how long you can keep eating like this, dear. You really better watch out. What if that was my final straw? Can I live Is it such a sin to buy crispy minis when they're on a 4 for $10 deal? Yeah, I'm gonna get 4. Is it such a sin to get Baby Bell? Maybe I want to heal my inner child today, okay? Yeah. If I see some random smoothie bar, I want to try out the flavor. I probably won't even like it. These will probably sit in my freezer for the next 6 months. Um, yeah, I bought like a liter thing of cream. I'm a chef. I need cream in my house. Sorry, I'm not a chef. I like cream. Yeah, my goodness, just let me have some peace. My hunt for supplies did not quite go as planned, so I had to leave my little town and go to Michael's, but I found perfect charms there, and they were so cheap. There's either little skeleton keys or little crosses. I'm not sure which is gonna work better. And then I found exactly what I wanted to do for our third little upcycling piece. I'm gonna embroidery, I don't know how you say it, on jeans. These are the jeans. We're gonna do little stars along the back, and you just need an embroidery hoop, which is like $2, some thread, and then I already had some little needles. Finally, I got this, which is a jet black dye kit with the color stay fixative instead of just the normal black. I read online the normal black tends to pull a lot more either green or purple, so hopefully this will work better. It will not close for the life of me. The little screw doesn't reach. I've been struggling with this hoop to close for 15 minutes, so we're having to try and tie it shut with string. Oh, I just bent the middle. I'm about to lose my mind. I'm trying to do things independently, and God is just like, looks like you might need a hand with that. I feel like I'm gonna have to enroll in anger management courses after getting this on, if I ever get it on. Oh my gosh! It has been 40 minutes and a mental breakdown later. We are just using clips instead because apparently it is so hard to get a hoop to fit over all these different seams. So let's see if this works. Okay, we're just taking this little chalk pen, and it seems like a star is usually drawn in like a little hexagon shape. So that's just what I did, and I don't really want them to be perfect. And I forgot to mention it because it seems so basic. In every DIY video, they just think everyone knows how to sew. But when you're sewing anything, you just want to have a little knot at the very end of your thread. And then when you pull your needle through, that's going to prevent the thread from just pulling right through your fabric. And it seems like you always kind of start from the back, like the inside of your fabric, and then pull through for the first pass, and then the last pass you're going to have your needle back on the inside of your fabric and just tie a little knot with your remaining thread to seal it off, and then you're done. And it's really easy, and threading stuff gets really relaxing. I find, like, I found this so relaxing. I ended up just doing it in bed as I was listening to something at night. And then for the charm, this is so easy. It literally just takes a minute to sew a charm onto a shirt. You take your thread again, do a little knot, pull it through to the back of like the inside of the clothing, and then I just looped it over the charm loop a few times just to make sure it was really secure, and cut the inside again after tying it in a knot. And then you're done, and that's how you do it. Sometimes my brain just doesn't like compute how sewing works if I haven't done it in a long time. Last time I did it, I was like 12. This took a little bit longer than I expected. I thought I was gonna get it done in one day. I think it's been 4 or 5 now, but I had to get some supplies, so that's okay. But we have our finished little pieces, and I'm obsessed with them, and we're gonna try them on. I ended up doing 3 pieces of clothing, but to be honest, I wear clothing over and over and over, and I would way rather have 3 that I'm like obsessed with than 10 that I don't really like. I'm gonna put my hair up so you can see better. Okay. I love it. It turned out so cute. I will be wearing this as much as I possibly can without people thinking I'm weird. This is what it looks like in the back and then in the front. But also, can we bring back tank tops that are this long? Obviously there's nothing wrong with crop clothes. I just feel like this is so much more comfortable, so much more flattering, and it just looks like better quality to me. I Next up, we might as well put on this trench coat. I re-dyed it with that jet black mix, and the secret was boiling it on the stove the whole time and adding a cup of vinegar to the water, and I followed all the same steps as before, and it turned out black, black, not purple. I'm actually kind of glad this didn't work at first, because then you could see the different vibe a clothing piece gives when it's a different color. This is kind of a red flag of mine, but you know, American Horror Story, Murder House, obviously. That scene where Evan Peters as Tate Langdon is wearing that trench coat as he walks to the school, up to some suspicious activities. But this coat reminds me of that. If I was in grade 9, I would have died over this. Well, I went from having this in my closet for a year, never wearing it. I'm gonna wear this. It's like every day now. This is gonna be my coat. This is what it looks like up close. I'm sorry if you can't really see. I like it really dark and cozy in my house, so all the lights are always off. For the jeans, they don't really fit me that well, but I have this issue with saying, you know, when I start going to the gym, like I never have before, ever, those will fill right out. That'll fill right out. No, it's not. It's never gonna happen. But they're still really cute, and honestly, wear your jeans looser. They're comfier. It's fine. You can grow into them. I could have kids in these. But yeah, I really like that these turned out subtle because I actually just really liked these jeans before. So you want to make sure you're not ruining your clothes or doing something too crazy that you're never going to wear them again. But yeah, that's what they look like. This is what they look like up close, and I used 3 different types of thread so it has a little bit more texture. I think that is the end of our little crafty adventure. But I do want to say, it is so satisfying to make your own thing or like embellish your own thing and make it yours. I don't care if your idea of creativity is putting googly eyes on a rock and naming it. That is so human and so cute, and I love you for it. But it just feels so good to, I don't know, like to make your own stuff, and not to mention sustainable. You know, that's nice. I feel like it can be very damaging to people if they have this mindset that they aren't creative and that they can't do anything on their own and they have to buy everything. Why think of yourself so incompetent? Like, yeah, sometimes, obviously, I'm very incompetent and can't do a lot of stuff, but you just mess up and you try again and you do it, and then you're one of the people that can do it. You'll be fine. I think next I probably want to do Coraline theme crafts because I got this yarn and it looks so much like those gloves she got, so that'll be fun. Thanks for watching, and I hope you can learn from my mistakes, because there were surely a few, but that's what happens. That's life. That's fine. Bye!